Chapter 1, Psalm 73 in Context. Holy Scripture is more famous than all other writings because of its truthfulness. The books of men are like their bodies, prone to many weaknesses. After careful editing, they still contain errors. However, Holy Scripture is like God, full, without imperfection, and faithful, without corruption. Its author is the God of truth, for whom it is impossible to lie. Therefore, its matter must be the word of truth. Psalm 119, verse 142, Titus chapter 1, verse 2, 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 21. Among all the books of Scripture, the Psalms are most famous for their variety. Other books are historical, doctrinal, or prophetical, but the book of Psalms is all of these. It describes the history of the Church, foretells the passion and resurrection of Christ, and declares the duty of a Christian. The Psalms, says one commentator, are a jewel, consisting of the gold of doctrine, the pearl of comfort, and the gem of prayer. Psalm 73 is entitled, A Psalm of Asaph, or A Psalm for Asaph. Asaph was a prophet, 2 Chronicles chapter 29, verse 30, and musician, 1 Chronicles chapter 15, verse 19. As for its content, Psalm 73 consists of two parts. The first describes the godly man's trial, the grievous conflict between the spirit and the flesh, verses 1 through 15. The second describes the godly man's triumph, the glorious conquest of the spirit over the flesh, verses 16 through 28. At the root of this conflict is envy. I was, declares the psalmist, envious at the foolish. Psalm 73, verse 3. 1. The cause of the psalmist's envy. The psalmist's heart is troubled because he sees the prosperity of the wicked. Psalm 73, verse 3. Their prosperity is like weeds that infest the ground, are watered plentifully, and grow exceedingly, while good corn is thin and lean. It is like the lion and raven, unclean creatures that are spared, while the innocent lamb and dove are sacrificed. It is inconceivable to the psalmist that the wicked should flourish like the bay tree, enjoy a constant spring and summer, and be fresh and green all year round, while the saints, like good apple trees, have their autumn and winter. This grieves him deeply. His sore eyes cannot behold the glorious sunshine of the wicked's prosperity. 2. The cure for the psalmist's envy. In simple terms, the psalmist's disease is poor eyesight. An envious eye is an evil eye. Matthew chapter 20, verse 15. The remedy for such an ailment is a glimpse of the wicked's end, eternal misery. It is to see that they climb the ladder like criminals to the gallows for execution. This realization satisfies the psalmist. Unbelievers ascribe envy to many causes. Some naturalists ascribe it to the principles of generation and corruption. The Stoics ascribe it to the necessary connection of second causes. The astrologers ascribe it to the motion and influence of the stars, trying to show us the very houses of prosperity and adversity. The wiser among them, although their foolish hearts are still darkened, ascribe it to the will of Jupiter, who has vessels of good and bad things, from which he gives to all people according to his pleasure. As for the removal of envy, unbelievers prescribe many cures. However, their medicines only serve to stir this disease. Their remedies are all kitchen medicine, such as grows in nature's garden. The real remedy must be fetched from afar. I confess that the master of moral philosophy, Seneca, whom I most admire from among all the moralists, seems to touch on the same theme as the psalmist. Those, says he, whom God approves and loves are afflicted. Those whom God seems to spare are reserved for future suffering. Although there are many excellent insights in the moralist's work, he falls well short of Christianity. His sight is not good enough to look into the other world, to behold the eternal pain of the wicked and the eternal pleasure of the good.